Hey there, this is Ron McCracken. I'm making this video on the morning of, very early morning, it's about 12:45 a.m. of May 12th. Anyway, um, May 7th, and this is raw and unrehearsed, as they say. I have a few questions for people who are in recovery. Some more experienced than me, probably. But May 7th marked 7 years of sobriety for me. And I'm enormously proud of that. As anyone in recovery knows, whether it's 42 days or 15 years or 42 years or 42 months, whatever, we all know that it requires a lot of work. And not sure exactly how to phrase this, but like I said, I'm enormously proud of that. 7 years sober, and I'm always a little surprised about it. Not just each passing year, but each passing month, even each passing day. Because honestly, I am. Excuse me. Oh my god. It's been a long day. Like I said, this is a very candid, unrehearsed video. It takes a lot of work to maintain recovery, and I still have my therapy session every Wednesday, and that's invaluable to me. And eventually, at some point we'll switch from every week to once every 2 weeks and go from there. Although I do want to, in the relatively near future, go from cognitive behavioral therapy to EMDR. So, there's a few things I want to take a deep dive into. I think that's kind of the generic term when you're talking about EMDR therapy. Take a deep dive and explore more thoroughly some past traumas and everything. Anyway, I'm not even sure how to phrase this, so I'll just say it. There's this lingering feeling of disappointment regarding my 7-year sober anniversary. Is it normal for extreme isolation to go along with sobriety? It just seems like it's a very isolating thing, and that's the one and only thing I don't like. And of course, understand that I'm not gonna ever do anything to risk my sobriety. That's one reason I'm talking about it now. It's just an odd feeling, and I'm enormously grateful for where I am now, and these recovery workshops I speak at every couple of months, something that the psychiatrist in charge of those workshops, when I've talked to him, he always tells me, anytime I'm struggling, just remind myself of how far I've come, of my progress and everything. And I do that. I do that almost daily. But I don't know. It just, I was hoping to have more contact with like-minded people by this point, I guess that's one way to put it. And I think about this was a good, had to be at least 25 years ago, maybe longer than that. I know probably more like 30 years ago. There were a few months, this was way back in the day when I was still living in Mesquite, Texas, that once a week I would go to a local Al-Anon meeting. And most people who have associated with recovery in any way know that Al-Anon is for friends and family members of people who have substance use issues, to try to give us tools and methods and insights into how to deal with that. And at the time, and I gave them full disclosure when I was going, excuse my God again. It's been an exhausting couple days. It's been an exhausting month. But yeah, I gave them full disclosure at the time, and I'm saying it here again. I was still drinking, and I was still drinking a lot when I went to Al-Anon. I'm hearing some race cars going past in my neighborhood. But I was going there because of a couple friends and a couple family members who were just about driving me crazy with some of their substance use issues. And it was a good decision to go. I gained a lot of insight and everything. And I'll never forget something that the woman who was kind of the de facto leader of the group. Shoot, I might have to redo this video, but excuse all the yawning. But something she said to me that I'll never forget is that, and I've mentioned this in other videos, that she said, Ron, if you ever do decide to get sober, she said, be prepared, because you will lose friends and family over it. She said for multiple reasons, that some people will actually resent you getting sober, and part of that is that they kind of miss the old you. In my case, I was the fun drunk, so some of them are going to miss that. They're going to miss the fun drunk, but also the dark side of that is they're going to miss the vulnerable you, the dysfunctional you. And I just thought of classic line, best line ever in King of the Hill, the episode where Bobby got addicted to cigarettes and Hank and Peggy got re-addicted to cigarettes. They had quit years before. And it climaxes with the three of them fighting over the last cigarette. They're having this epic fight over the last cigarette. And Luann Platter, Hank and Peggy's niece, she grabs a cigarette and throws it in one of the bedrooms, and she locks them in the room. And while they're banging on the door, hey, let us out, Luann, let us out, she says in her inimitable style, I grew up in a dysfunctional family, and I'm not gonna let it happen to you. Function, damn you! She's yelling that through the door. Anyway, that's the feeling. That's the feeling that drove me to go to Al-Anon. Of course, like I said, I was still drinking a lot at the time, but yeah, I think fairly often about what that woman said about that not everyone will be happy about your sobriety. Let's put it that way. And that's you can probably tell from me shaking my head. That's a real head scratcher for me. That, but the only explanation I think, I'm sure she's accurate in what she said, is that they got used to the old you. They got used to the dysfunctional you. They got used to the vulnerable and weak version of you. So that's what they like. That's what they want around. And again, I don't know. I was planning on making a much more positive video talking about my 7 years sober, but this is what is on my mind. This is what is bugging me. So that's why I made this video. Anyway, I would welcome some positive feedback, especially from other people in recovery. If you've had similar experiences where basically the feeling is, you're enormously proud of what you've done, you feel great about it, and you feel like the response from so many people is just, me, this, what's the big deal? Well, we chose life, that's what the big deal is. So, but really I would like to, if anyone feels like providing some positive feedback or insights, or just share any of their own experiences, that would be terrific. Okay, and hope everyone's doing well. Y'all have a great week.